How many people can achieve a successful career at the age of 20 and become a millionaire like Andy Gibb, the most beloved member of the legendary group Bee Gees? Becoming famous in the late 70s and early 80s, Andy Gibb had 8 singles in the U.S. top 20, thanks to his enchanting and unique music. However, his career, admired by thousands, was destroyed by his own drug addiction, leading to his tragic death at the age of 30. To know more about the mistakes of Andy Gibb, watch this video until the end. Let's get started. Andy Gibb rose to prominence in the late 1970s as a charismatic pop singer and teen idol. As the youngest brother of the legendary Bee Gees, Barry, Robin, and Morris Gibb, Andy quickly captured the hearts of music enthusiasts worldwide with his smooth vocals and charming persona. Despite achieving remarkable success during the disco era with 6 hit records, including chart toppers like Shadow Dancing and I Just Want to Be Your Everything, Andy faced financial challenges that led to a sudden downturn in his career. In 1987, at the age of 29, he declared bankruptcy, revealing an annual income of less than $8,000. However, undeterred by the setbacks, Andy was determined to make a comeback in the music industry. The pivotal turning point came when his elder brother, Barry Gibb, extended a supportive hand to help Andy resurrect his career. Barry, a pivotal figure in the Bee Gees' success, recognized Andy's potential and took him under his wing. In an effort to reignite the magic of their musical collaborations, Barry brought Andy to London for a creative reunion. The prospect of working alongside his elder brother fueled Andy's optimism and marked the beginning of a new chapter in his professional life. In early 1988, Andy Gibb, armed with renewed enthusiasm and a fresh start, relocated to a carriage house on the property of his brother Robin Gibb. The supportive environment provided by his family created a conducive space for Andy to focus on his music and artistic endeavors. During this period, he inked a promising contract with Island Records, a renowned record label that had been home to many successful artists. Author Matthew Hild, offering insights into Andy's life during this time, painted a vivid picture of a man who, on the surface, seemed to be in a positive and promising phase. Having recently signed a record contract in London, the pop sensation was poised to revitalize his career by working on a new album. The prospect of this creative endeavor brought out the best in Andy. He appeared outgoing, enthusiastic, and genuinely happy. However, this newfound optimism was juxtaposed against a personal struggle that added layers of complexity to his emotional landscape. Andy, despite his public persona, grappled with the challenge of living alone, a circumstance he reportedly despised. This sense of isolation, while he ventured into a critical phase of his career, appears to have contributed to a subtle erosion of confidence. As he prepared to re-enter the demanding world of the music industry, doubts crept in, eroding his faith in his ability to make a successful comeback. The conflicting emotions in Andy's life were evident in his eagerness to create what should have been his next album. Despite the shaky confidence and underlying insecurities, the artist was determined to push forward with his artistic endeavors, perhaps viewing music as a refuge from the personal challenges he faced. The last days of Andy Gibb were a mixture of hopefulness, driven by creative aspirations, and a darker undercurrent of depression and insecurity. According to Hild's account, the physical toll of these emotional struggles manifested in Andy's health. He was hospitalized 3 times, seeking relief from chest and abdominal pains. These instances of medical intervention paint a somber picture of an artist grappling not only with the pressures of his career, but also with internal distress that manifested in physical symptoms. The evening of March 9, 1988, marked a tragic turning point. On Robin's estate, Andy collapsed, and despite efforts to save him, he succumbed to myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart muscle, the following morning. The abrupt end to his life left the music industry and fans mourning a talent who, despite his best efforts to make a triumphant return, was overtaken by a combination of personal struggles and a devastating health condition. Andy Gibb's life, marked by soaring success and tragic struggles, is now unveiled in Matthew Hild's poignant new book, Arrow Through the Heart. The book delves into the intricacies of Andy's journey, exploring how he ventured into the spotlight as a sought-after star and the profound impact of his battles with addiction that ultimately led to his untimely demise. Hild's work provides a comprehensive narrative, shedding light on Andy's foray into the music industry as a solo artist, distinct from the shadow of his famous brothers in the Bee Gees. The exploration extends beyond the glamorous facade of fame, delving into the personal and professional challenges that Andy faced while carving out his own identity in the competitive world of entertainment. Central to the narrative is the exploration of Andy's struggles with addiction, a theme that reverberates throughout the book. The impact of substance abuse on his career and personal life is examined with sensitivity, offering readers a nuanced understanding of the factors that contributed to his tragic end. The book navigates the complexities of fame, family dynamics, and the pressures that accompanied Andy's rise to stardom. While Barry Gibb, the only surviving member of the Bee Gees, remains a prominent figure in the narrative, a spokesperson for Barry did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Hild's book. The absence of input from the surviving family member adds an additional layer of mystery and underscores the complexity of Andy's story. Hild's motivation to write Arrow Through the Heart is rooted in a perceived gap in the representation of Andy's life. Despite being mentioned in Barry's 2020 documentary, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart?, Hild felt that there was a need for a more in-depth exploration of Andy's journey. The book aims to move beyond the widely known details of Andy's tragic death and seeks to answer a more profound question: how did he really live? Hild meticulously gathered insights from individuals who knew and worked with the pop sensation, offering a behind-the-scenes look at the man beyond the public persona. Despite initial hesitations from some sources, many eventually came forward to share their personal accounts, contributing to a more nuanced and comprehensive portrayal of Andy Gibb. One notable absence in the participation was Barry Gibb, the only surviving member of the Bee Gees. While Barry declined to be directly involved in the project, he is aware of the book's release, adding a layer of complexity to the narrative. Hild's ability to navigate the complexities of obtaining information from various sources, despite initial reservations, underscores the importance of bringing forth a more complete and authentic representation of Andy's life. Hild's perspective on Andy's legacy is evident in his assertion that Andy is often remembered primarily for his struggles, overshadowing his individual talent. Hild challenges the misconception that Andy's success was solely attributed to his famous brothers, emphasizing that Andy possessed incredible talent in his own right. The author highlights Andy's early achievements, noting that even at a young age, he demonstrated songwriting prowess. At just 16 and 17 years old, Andy was crafting notable songs that found their way onto his debut album, showcasing a level of artistic maturity beyond his years. Beyond musical prowess, Hild draws attention to Andy's stage presence, emphasizing his ability to command an audience as a performer. Andy's looks may have initially caught attention, but, as Hild contends, it was his innate talent that truly spoke for itself. The book aims to dismantle the narrative that Andy was merely a product of his familial connections, presenting him as an artist with a distinctive voice and creative vision. Hild also touches upon the personal qualities that endeared Andy to those who knew him. Describing him as kind, generous, and possessing a sweet nature, Hild paints a portrait of a star who went beyond the glittering facade of fame. Even today, the protective nature of those who cherish Andy's memories is a testament to the impact he had on those around him. Andy Gibb's journey into the world of music was woven into the fabric of his familial ties and ignited by the encouragement of his older brother, Barry Gibb, who played a pivotal role in shaping his early years in the industry. Born on March 5, 1958, in Manchester, England, Andy was still a child when his brothers, Barry, Robin, and Maurice, achieved their first big hit as the Bee Gees, a renowned sibling singing group. Barry, recognizing his younger brother's burgeoning interest in music, became a mentor and catalyst for Andy's own musical aspirations. In a gesture that would set the stage for Andy's future in the industry, Barry gifted him his first guitar, an instrument that would become a gateway to a lifelong passion. In the mid-1970s, during his teenage years, Andy took the first steps towards realizing his musical ambitions. Forming a group called Millionaire, he embarked on a musical journey with aspirations to carve his own niche in the industry. However, the path to success was not without its challenges, and Millionaire eventually disbanded while they were in Australia. Undeterred by the setback, Andy continued to pursue his musical dreams, forming another band called Zenta. It was during this phase that Andy's talents caught the discerning eye of Robert Stigwood, the manager of the Bee Gees and a prominent film producer. Stigwood, impressed by Andy's musical potential, recognized the spark of talent that could potentially follow in the footsteps of his highly successful brothers. The encounter with Stigwood marked a turning point in Andy's career, opening doors to opportunities that would propel him into the limelight. Under Stigwood's guidance, Andy's journey in the music industry gained momentum, setting the stage for his eventual solo career and the success that would make him a pop sensation in the late 1970s. In 1976, at the tender age of 18, Andy Gibb embarked on a transformative journey that would solidify his status as a rising star in the music industry. Heading to Miami, Florida, Andy immersed himself in the creative process, working tirelessly on his debut album, Flowing Rivers, which saw the collaboration with his elder brother, Barry Gibb. The year 1977 witnessed the release of this inaugural album, marking the formal introduction of Andy as a solo artist. Flowing Rivers not only showcased Andy's youthfully charismatic presence, but also highlighted his enchanting vocals, laying the groundwork for a wildly successful solo career. The album served as a springboard for Andy, catapulting him into the limelight with its captivating melodies and heartfelt lyrics. Following the triumph of his debut, Andy continued to ascend in the music industry, achieving even greater heights with his next release, the 1978 multi-platinum album Shadow Dancing. Renowned for his boyish good looks and unmistakable voice, Andy's success was no longer overshadowed by his brothers, but stood as a testament to his individual talent. Shadow Dancing featured a collection of hits that resonated with audiences worldwide. The title track, Shadow Dancing, became an anthem of the late 70s, solidifying Andy's place in pop music history. The album's success not only affirmed Andy's prowess as a solo artist, but also demonstrated his ability to connect with listeners on a profound level. Among the standout tracks from his repertoire, I Just Want to Be Your Everything from 1977 and the 1978 hits Shadow Dancing and An Everlasting Love showcased Andy's versatility as a singer and songwriter. These songs, characterized by their infectious melodies and heartfelt lyrics, became synonymous with the era and further solidified Andy's reputation as a pop sensation. As the 70s drew to a close, Andy Gibb continued to captivate audiences with his music. In 1979, Our Love Don't Throw It All Away further showcased his emotive vocals and songwriting prowess, adding another gem to his collection of hit songs. According to Matthew Hild, the author of Arrow Through the Heart, during this time, Andy found himself at the center of both financial abundance and relentless adoration from fans. Andy was getting checks that would have been $4 million today, and women were chasing him everywhere, Hild revealed, shedding light on the overwhelming circumstances surrounding the young artist. Despite the external signs of prosperity, Andy's rapid ascent to fame presented profound challenges. Hild delves into the perspective of Andy's father, who observed that the young artist had been handed an abundance of success and attention far too quickly. creating a whirlwind that proved difficult for him to navigate. Transitioning from playing in small Australian nightclubs to achieving #1 hits in the United States brought with it a seismic shift in Andy's life. He became a ubiquitous presence in magazines, on the radio, and on television, captivating audiences on a global scale. However, amidst the glamour and acclaim, Andy was silently grappling with a phenomenon known as Imposter Syndrome. Hild explains that, despite his undeniable talent and the financial rewards pouring in, Andy struggled to internalize his success. The notion that he might be perceived as an imposter in the world of music haunted him. This internal conflict was further compounded by the perception, perhaps even self-imposed, that he owed his success primarily to his illustrious brothers, Barry, Robin, and Maurice, collectively known as the Bee Gees. The shadow cast by his brother's monumental success loomed large over Andy's psyche. Hild suggests that Andy, despite his own achievements, felt overshadowed by the towering accomplishments of his brothers. The unique combination of imposter syndrome and the perceived weight of familial success created a complex emotional landscape for Andy, one where self-doubt and internal struggles coexisted with the external trappings of fame. According to Hild, many years after Andy's passing, there remains a pervasive sense of puzzlement among people trying to comprehend the forces that drove him toward his personal demons. At the heart of this mystery lies the remarkable trajectory of Andy's rise to superstardom. Hild emphasizes the astounding speed at which Andy ascended to fame, becoming a global sensation virtually overnight at the tender age of 19. The intense scrutiny of the public eye, coupled with the pressures of sustaining a high-profile career, proved to be an overwhelming burden for someone so young. Despite external trappings of success, financial wealth, adulation from fans, and the recognition of his talent, Andy grappled with a profound emptiness within himself. Hild paints a poignant picture of a young man who seemingly had everything one could desire in the world of fame and fortune, but was haunted by an internal void. A revealing anecdote shared by Betty White's agent sheds light on the disparity between Andy's external perception and his internal struggle. Even as others recognized his appeal and talent, Andy seemed unable to see himself in a positive light. The agent's poignant words, "I always had the feeling that when Andy looked in the mirror, he just saw nothing," encapsulate the depth of Andy's internal turmoil. This struggle with self-perception, compounded by the relentless expectations of fame and the burden of familial success, contributed to the erosion of Andy's well-being. The incongruity between external success and internal turmoil underscores the profound impact that the music industry's relentless pace and the trappings of celebrity can have on an individual's mental and emotional health. Matthew Hild reveals that despite the Bee Gees' enormous success, Barry recognized and openly acknowledged Andy's unique abilities. Barry, according to Hild, went so far as to tell Andy, "We have 3 of us as the Bee Gees, but look at what you do. We can't do that." This praise from his older brother, someone Andy idolized, should have been a source of affirmation for Andy's talents. However, despite these assurances, Andy harbored deep-seated uncertainties about his own abilities. The admiration he held for Barry and the shadow cast by the Bee Gees' collective success seemed to intensify his internal struggles. Hild highlights that, privately, Andy grappled with insecurities as he navigated the complex landscape of fame, wealth, and the weight of familial expectations. Barry's genuine belief in Andy's talent did not fully dispel the self-doubt that plagued the younger Gibb. This internal conflict became a breeding ground for the vulnerabilities that would later manifest in Andy's life. The struggle to reconcile external recognition with personal doubts created a tumultuous emotional landscape for the young artist. Amidst this internal turmoil, Andy found himself in Miami Beach, a locale that would prove to be a catalyst for his descent into the temptations of the era. Hild notes that during this time, cocaine was pervasive and had become an integral part of the cultural fabric, especially in the entertainment industry. Many artists succumbed to its allure, and Andy, too, found himself ensnared in its grip. Andy Gibb's personal life, entwined with the complexities of fame and personal struggles, further reflects the tumultuous journey of the pop sensation. According to Matthew Hild, Andy faced challenges not only in his career and battles with substances, but also in matters of the heart. In 1981, Andy found himself enamored with Dallas actress Victoria Principal. The romance that unfolded, however, was far from a fairy tale. Hild describes the relationship as a whirlwind, marked by storms of intensity. Reports suggest that drugs played a role in the turbulence that ultimately led to their split. Despite the allure of love, the tumultuous nature of the relationship only added to the challenges Andy faced in his personal life. Hild provides insight into the aftermath of the breakup, revealing that Andy was devastated. The emotional toll of the failed romance added another layer of complexity to his already fragile state. This episode in his life underscored the profound impact that personal relationships could have on someone grappling with internal struggles and external pressures. Andy's aspirations in his personal life were also influenced by the examples set by his brothers, particularly Barry, who enjoyed enduring marriages. The desire for a stable, lasting relationship and a family echoed the familiar patterns set by his siblings and parents. However, despite a brief marriage to Kim Reeder from 1976 to 1978, which resulted in the birth of a daughter, Andy's search for the lasting love he longed for proved elusive. Hild delves into the deeper desires that fueled Andy's yearning for a stable family life. He reveals that Andy sought the kind of enduring relationships that his brothers and parents had enjoyed. The prolonged marriages and family harmony within the Gibb household served as aspirational benchmarks for Andy. He envisioned a long-lasting marriage, a happy family, a peaceful home life, and the joys of raising children. Unfortunately, the reality fell short of these dreams. Despite his achievements in the music industry, the longing for a fulfilling personal life remained unfulfilled for Andy. The challenges in his romantic relationships, combined with the internal struggles he faced, paint a poignant picture of a man who, despite external success, grappled with the pursuit of lasting happiness in both his professional and personal spheres. As the 1980s unfolded, so did the intensification of Andy Gibb's struggles, particularly with drug abuse. The industry became acutely aware of the escalating challenges faced by the pop sensation. Matthew Hild, the author of Arrow Through the Heart, sheds light on this dark chapter in Andy's life, underscoring the corrosive impact of substance abuse on the artist's well-being and professional trajectory. In 1982, the gravity of Andy's situation reached a breaking point, prompting a public admission on a national platform. During an interview on Good Morning America, Andy Gibb openly acknowledged that he was in the throes of a very bad nervous breakdown. The shocking revelation laid bare the extent of his internal turmoil and the toll that fame, personal struggles, and the allure of substances had taken on his mental health. The admission on national television was a moment of vulnerability for Andy, as he confessed to having blown up everything he had worked so hard to achieve. The stark contrast between the external image of success and the internal chaos further emphasized the fragility of an artist's mental and emotional state when confronted with the pressures of the industry. In 1985, responding to the urging of his concerned family, Andy checked into the renowned Betty Ford Center, signaling a pivotal moment in his battle against substance abuse. However, the path to recovery was fraught with challenges, and the repercussions of his previous struggles cast a long shadow over his attempts to reignite his once thriving career. Upon completing his rehabilitation at the Betty Ford Center, a clean and sober Andy Gibb faced the harsh reality of trying to reclaim his position in the music industry. According to Matthew Hild, the author of Arrow Through the Heart, the intervening years of struggle had left an indelible mark on Andy's professional reputation. The industry viewed him through a lens of unreliability, and opportunities that might have once been open to him were now elusive. Hild reflects on the precarious state of Andy's reputation, stating that, by the time he was ready to work again, his reputation was just shot. The narrative surrounding Andy had shifted, and his struggle with reliability had become a defining characteristic. Despite having opportunities in films and television shows, Andy's inability to consistently show up for commitments eroded the trust of those in the industry. The changing landscape of the pop music scene further complicated his attempts at a comeback. The industry, now different from the one Andy had left, was reluctant to embrace the once prominent pop sensation. People who may have considered hiring him were now hesitant, fearing the unpredictability that had become synonymous with his name. The challenges of navigating a changed industry, coupled with the lingering stigma of past unreliability, created formidable barriers to Andy's return to the limelight. Despite these obstacles, Andy remained determined to stage a comeback. Hild notes that he still talked of his comeback. He was trying even at the end. This persistence speaks to the tenacity and resilience that defined Andy Gibb, even in the face of formidable challenges. However, the aspirations of a return to the spotlight remained elusive, as the industry hesitated to embrace the once glamorous pop idol who had fallen from grace. The tragic end to Andy Gibb's life, just 5 days after his birthday, marked the culmination of a journey fraught with personal demons and health challenges. The circumstances surrounding his death, as revealed by Matthew Hild, delve into the intricate factors that contributed to the untimely demise of the once prominent pop sensation. A key revelation from the pathologist's findings was that, contrary to speculation, there was no evidence of alcohol or other substances in Andy's system at the time of his death. Instead, the inflammation of his heart was attributed to a viral infection. Barbara Gibb, Andy's mother, clarified that drugs were not directly involved in his passing. However, she acknowledged that the damage to his health had been initiated by a history of substance abuse. Hild provides additional insights into the lingering impact of Andy's struggles with addiction. The author suggests that Andy's heart problems had been persisting for years and were likely linked to his history of drug use. The toll of substance abuse on his physical well-being became a tragic undercurrent in his life, contributing to the ultimate health challenges that manifested in the inflammation of his heart. While the immediate cause of death was a viral infection, Hild posits that the root cause of Andy's physical decline was intertwined with the emotional struggles he faced throughout his life. The author emphasizes that Andy's insecurities played a pivotal role in his downward spiral. Several individuals who knew him intimately shared with Hild their belief that Andy's addictions were a coping mechanism for the emotional turmoil he experienced in grappling with the rapid onset of fame. As Andy's career soared to unparalleled heights, the overwhelming nature of fame took a toll on his mental and emotional well-being. When the trajectory of his career shifted, and he found himself unable to sustain the success he had initially achieved, a sense of depression engulfed him. The abrupt loss of his career, compounded with his insecurities, led to a profound emotional struggle that, according to Hild, overwhelmed Andy. Matthew Hild, the author of Arrow Through the Heart, seeks to redefine Andy Gibb's legacy in the realm of music, shedding light on the complexities of his life beyond the well-documented struggles. Hild's hope is to encourage readers to reassess Andy's contributions to the music industry, recognizing him not merely as the younger sibling of the Bee Gees, but as an artist who carved his own path with courage and creativity. Amidst the heavily publicized personal challenges that dominated Andy's narrative, Hild underscores the overshadowing effect it had on his musical legacy. The book aims to elevate the conversation surrounding Andy Gibb, prompting a nuanced understanding of his career that extends beyond the shadows of his brother's fame and the trials he faced. Hild emphasizes that Andy was more than just the kid brother of the Bee Gees. His courage to pursue a solo career showcased his individuality and artistic prowess. The author invites readers to recognize the triumphs in Andy's musical journey, appreciating the heights he reached and the impact he made on the pop music landscape. The narrative crafted by Hild invites contemplation about what Andy could have achieved had he lived longer. Despite the challenges, he had a career that achieved significant milestones, and his potential was evident. The author's perspective prompts readers to consider the possibilities that were cut short by Andy's untimely death, leaving a lingering sense of what might have been. Hild reflects on the dichotomy of Andy's life, noting that he seemingly had it all, but tragically lost his way. The book delves into the complexities of Andy's journey, offering a more comprehensive understanding of the artist's struggles, triumphs, and the impact of external forces on his trajectory. What do you think about Andy Gibb's career misstep and his tragic death? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.